Hey, this is the Follow Through. I'm Pastor Fred. Great to have you with us. We are listening to God. We're also following Him, right? Living for Him each and every day. Hit the subscribe button. You know what to do, right? Share this with somebody else. All week, we're talking about what I think is such a huge thing, and that is peace. We all need it. And today, we're going to talk about, like, what is your mindset on? If you ever had one of those bad weeks, right? You might have a bad day, you might have a bad week, you might have a bad month. Last year, I think a lot of people had a bad year. And so what do you find yourself saying in those situations? You'll say, like, man, I'm just not in a good place. You ever notice that we think of it in those terms? Like, in terms of, like, that's where I'm living. Like, that's the land that I inhabit. Like, that's what's surrounding me. That's all that I can see. And so when you say my headspace is off, that's what we're talking about here today. Like, what's your mind set on? Romans 8, verse 5. Let's grab that. He says, "For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh." So you can look at somebody who just says, I do what I want, the hedonist, the person that says, I'm just going to get as much pleasure and as much stuff for me, so I'm going to buy whatever I want, I'm going to do whatever I want, eat and drink whatever I want, and my life is just about me having a big party and being the center of the world and the center of the universe. He says, pretty much, like, if that's your mindset, we'll all know, because that's how you're living. Like, that's what you're surrounding yourself with, and that's how you see life. It's about having fun, about doing what you want to do. But he says, but those who live according to the Spirit, right? So led by God, filled with His truth, loving Him, knowing you're forgiven, knowing you're free, all of those things, right? Because that's what Christianity is. It's not a bunch of rules. See, often we think, like, oh, living according to the Spirit, man, that's just boring, because you just have to sit around, right, and watch, old 50s sitcoms that are just, and it's just so wrong. I think there's real life in following Jesus, because we're going to be about helping other people. My mindset is not going to be about what's good for me, but how can I help others, knowing that God is going to give me what I need to do all of that. That's my mindset. That winds up being what I live according to, because the Spirit is informing me and telling me. And basically he's saying, like, it shouldn't be a surprise when you see someone who's living a certain way, like living God's way, in tune with what the Spirit is telling them. Well, their mind is going to be set on those things. We got to get away from thinking that there's sort of there's the feelings part of us, there's our heart, our mind, our soul, and as if it's all so separate. Right? There's this intellectual part of me, and there's, it's all connected. And your mind is such an important thing. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see just how important it is and what we think about. Now, I'm not talking about positive thinking, we're not dialing that in at all. We're talking about God kind of thinking, right? Like how does He want me to think? What does He want me to look at and focus on? What is my mind set on? If it's set on Him, I'm going to live for Him. I'm going to look at what pleases Him. What is He what's the next move for my life because of Him and because of what He does for me? See, I want to go for that. I want to be led by that. So that when people see me, they don't see me. Wouldn't that be cool if all of us just kind of lived our lives, like, to see, like, how could we help others? Like, what difference could we make in everyone around us in their life? How cool would that be? So instead of a contest to be the best and the biggest, it would be just us expending all that we have to say, hey, how can I make life better for this person or that person? All right. I pray that blesses you today, and share this with somebody in your life so that they too, again, will see, like, maybe what their mind is set on, and that maybe it's time to change the channel on that. All right. We'll see you next time.